of the 5th edition. Join our various gaming groups as we play the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. And maybe just hang out and chat about gaming in general. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, welcome back to the 30-day Dungeons & Dragons Challenge.
Woohoo!
And we are now on... I don't even know, because the cat just closed the window.
Those pesky kitties.
We are now on day 21. Your favorite dragon color and type.
Well, actually, okay, if I have to pick like the regular mainstream ones, okay, Silver Dragon. But I'm sorry, my favorite dragon is the fairy dragon. It's so cute. Oh my god, it is so adorable with its butterfly wings and its pretty colors.
See, that was totally going to be my honorary mention, is the fairy dragon. Because you can, as a GM, you can so screw with your party with one of those. I literally had one in our Orcs of Conquest Group 2. They spent the whole night being pestered by a fairy dragon out in the woods in the dark.
Oh, and remember our we had that one game, and you introduced it. Oh my god, Talia drew the nicest picture on the fly of a fairy dragon.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Because we gave the fairy dragon jam. And it loved us.
Yeah.
So, and she drew the cutest picture of a fairy dragon, like, taking jam from the jar. Oh my god, it was such an amazing picture.
The fairy dragon poo, Winnie the Pooh moment.
Yeah. With the jam jar.
God, almost forgot about that. That was the, when you guys were going after the orcs.
That was the lady, it wasn't the Lady Knights of Adventure, it was the other one.
The Dark Vision Dames.
Dark Vision Dames, that's it.
That's the one. If only we could get everyone's, acts together and get back to that.
Yeah, it's like, I played, Mordor Runehammer. I was the dwarf cleric. With a soldier background. Yeah, I remember her. She was a Tempest cleric, I believe.
Yep. She was an awesome cleric because she was that soldier veteran. She was the staunch one to take care of the group.
Oh my god, she totally thought she was the tank as well. She'd just run in and do whatever she was very, it's like, I remember one of her flaw was, it's like, I'd rather eat my own armor than admit that I'm wrong. Yeah. I remember her backstory and everything.
That was good times.
Rescued on a battlefield as a soldier, and they saved her life, and then she dedicated herself to doing the same for others.
Aww. Awesome backstory that does not require 10 pages.
No.
Which is always a winner in my book.
But see, the beauty is I could flesh it out even more. The campaign was against orcs, but...
Which is why the dwarf totally worked.
Exactly.
So for my favorite dragon, we'll totally go with the classic red dragon. It's the prototypical dragon of Dungeons and Dragons. You get that fire-breathing dragon who is totally at home living near lava, or some kind of hot issue such as, geysers or something like that, you totally get to use the whole Dragon Slayer-esque feel.
One would say the cover dragon.
This is true. In many of the covers, it was the red dragon that they'd show.
Yep.
Including the red box, I believe.
Red box ninjas!
And of course, being the red dragon, it has lots of advantages, because when your players whip out that fireball spell, it just laughs. It's like, yes, cast fireball. Let's see who gets the worst out of this. And of course, one thing I am a fan of since 4th edition that came over is the dragons get the recharge abilities, so they can have some cool things that they can do, and it resets so they can do it again in the fight later on. You shouldn't try to eat while I'm talking. You might choke yourself.
I know, it was more of a liquid libation that,
This is what happens when dragons try to eat adventurers. As Draco said in his movie, thank you for getting that night out of my teeth.
It's like my mom used to have a sign over her desk when she was at the fines office. It said, do not meddle in the affairs of dragons, for you are small and crunchy and taste good with ketchup.
Because dragons really are good in any D&D adventure, because it's kind of in the title.
Yeah.
And you can always be jerks and throw in baby dragons.
Cute, cuddly, and very deadly.
Cute, cuddly, and will burn your house down.
Norbert. Oh, sorry. Wrong.
Aw. And of course, like I said, fairy dragons totally get my honorary mention because they're awesome. And for you Dragonlance fans out there, which, who doesn't want to be a guy who rides a dragon with a magic lance? Come on. In the newest Fizban's Guide to Dragons, they do have the setup to pretty much play Dragonlance again, because the new books are totally coming out now, and Wizards finally got their act together to get back with the original writers.
Ah. Yeah, I remember reading those books when they came out. Oh my god.
Oh.
Spoiler. Like when you get to the later books, it's like, when Storm dies, I was crying.
Oh,
they went out like a boss.
Those books had some major impact. I mean, I'll even throw out the evil nanny dragon.
Oh my god! That was a tragic story!
It was!
Oh.
It was
God,
horribly
that was so
gut-wrenching. There is no right answer. It's like war,
Oh.
But if you ever get a chance, definitely read the Autumn Twilight.
Dragons of Autumn Twilight, Dragons of Winter Night, Dragons of Spring Dawning.
Yep. I was totally expecting them to come out with a 4th book, but they never did.
I felt unresolved for the seasons, you mean?
I mean, they totally went off and did a lot of the stuff for, the brothers and, and a lot of the other characters. Tanis got a few spin-offs.
Mm-hmm.
And they totally did some good setting books that totally brought Dragonlance back into D&D's angle, because Dragonlance did kind of diverge.
Mm-hmm.
They separated a lot. And it is a great campaign to show what you would do when you don't have a cleric in the group. You just give them a magic staff that has a certain number of heals in it. I mean, literally, that's the plot.
We didn't have one in that 4th edition group.
Nope.
It was, thank goodness for healing surges. We had my bard, but she was like, because I 2-boxed on that one because we lost. So I was dual boxing a bard and a ranger.
DPS and the semi heals.
Yeah, it was great because, 2 completely distinct, different types of characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's, much easier to, oh my god, it was my first changeling experience.
This explains where your changeling, skills came from, by 2-boxing other characters.
Exactly. So, Tilda's cousin, Twyla. Twyla Faradiddy. She was an awesome bard.
And of course, I'll totally throw it out there since dragons is the topic. The new World of Warcraft expansion.
Ooh, I know. Some of those flight mechanics and stuff look really cool.
And apparently you're going to be able to totally customize your character.
See. Now, I loved, the Demon Hunter. I loved being, a Demon Hunter. But this gives you a little more play.
Yep, a little more oomph.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely, if you can play a dragon, totally be a dragon. Just saying.
Yeah, be a dragon.
If you have a setting that doesn't have a dragon, is it really D&D?
Yes, it is.
Okay. But if you do have dragons, totally use them for the most. Fire dragons are super greedy and want to be paid tribute. Green dragons are manipulative bastards who work in the darkness and try to convert everyone, especially them elves, to their side, which who doesn't want elf minions? They live forever. You've got the white dragons, which are totally feral and bestial. They're basically your polar bear of dragons. I mean, think about it. They're totally the polar bear of dragons.
There's a module that we went up against white dragon. It was like an old module in the north. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, well.
There's a few of them out there. As your mom comes running and screaming how much you like the food. See, that's how dragons behave,
Yeah, well, she being an ancient dragon. Makes her more powerful!
Yes, remember, they get more powerful before they expire.
Actually, remember when we did get her to play D&D?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she was a dragon king, Silver. Yeah, her name was Argenta.
Yep, that was her character in the 3.5 game.
She loves dragons, too.
Mm-hmm. And the rest of y'all were high enough level that having the half-dragon template did not make her overpowered compared to the rest of you.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, be a dragon, use dragons. Dragons are fun. Black dragons, total jerks in the swamp. They're the epitome of the swamp people you don't want to run into. Yeah. Think about it. You get a black dragon worshipped by lizard people. It's the worst episode of Swamp People ever. Instead of you shooting the crocodiles, the crocodiles are shooting you.
Oh, that was bad.
Hey, lizard people.
Well, and it's more likely a gator as opposed to a crocodile.
True that. Alrighty, guys, so that will definitely wrap up day 21 for the D&D 30-day challenge. Alrighty, guys, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Please follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/CPPN to never miss a show or stream.